This program is brought to you by the members of WCNY. Thank you. Coming up tonight on Gamechangers, we take a look back at the history of the Syracuse women's basketball program and how it paved the way for the culture that Coach Felisha Legette-Jack is building. Then, the team meets with fans in the community, building excitement around the upcoming season. And Coach Jack sits down with us to discuss her new-look team.
I think it's a different group. Anybody we play, anywhere we play them at, we're going to respect everybody. We're going to fear nobody.
Syracuse has always had a special relationship with the game of basketball. The men's collegiate team gained prominence in the early 20th century, and then legendary head coach Jim Boeheim turned the program into a powerhouse. Syracuse was also home to an NBA champion, the Nationals, who won the league's championship in 1955. The franchise's owner, Danny Biasone, literally changed the game as the man that created the shot clock in the sport. This connection is particularly strong for women's basketball. In 1898, a group of female students organized a public game that sparked the start of other women's intercollegiate contests across campus. And when Title IX was passed 70 years later, Syracuse's women's basketball team was ready to compete in its inaugural season of independent play. The year was 1972. The coach was Muriel Smith. The team saw moments of promise early on as a program. It established itself independently, even posting an undefeated season in 1975 with a record of 10-0. By the late 70s and early 80s, Barbara Jacobs was ready to bring Syracuse women's basketball to the next level in the Big East Conference. Despite success in independent play, the first two seasons in the Big East posed challenges for the program. But Jacobs knew that the talent that she was recruiting for the new era of the Orange would turn her team into legitimate conference contenders.
I didn't really like basketball at the beginning, but my brothers, Lonnie and Ronnie, they just thought that I should do something. They said, do something. You're so tall, do something. And they loved to play basketball. And so in the 5th grade, I picked up the ball. And I just kind of was natural at it. It became a passion, and then became a thing that I wanted to do, not just had to do because my brothers told me that I should do something. Barbara Jacobs was recruiting me ever since I was in the 8th grade. She'd be at my soccer games. She'd be at my volleyball games. She'd be at my basketball games. She really was interested in me, and I certainly knew what I became by going to Nottingham High School. I went there to play for a lady named Letta Spees. Coach Spees was a tough lady. She pushed you every day, not just for the basketball side of it, but the mental piece, And I was a top 40 student athlete coming out of high school. And even though the big name schools came after me, they couldn't do anything about where their school resided. And so I wanted to go to a place that wasn't already established, and I wanted to be the reason why it became something different. And I wanted to go to a place where, I knew my brothers really wanted to come to Syracuse University, but they were denied an opportunity. And the way Coach Jacobs came after me, she thought that I was going to one day come and be on her team and help change the way people saw her program. And so what I thought we were going to do, we manifested that in our thought process, and it became true. First year we were here at Syracuse, we won the Big East Championship. It was our first Big East Championship, and we just continued to find ways to keep getting better, and on the backs of some really amazing teammates I had.
Here in the Manley Fieldhouse, Felisha Legette became a scoring and rebounding force for Syracuse women's basketball. She was named the Big East Conference Freshman of the Year and increased her production to averaging a double-double in her sophomore year. Felisha and her teammates all understood what needed to be done in order for the team to find success in her last 2 years. However, the path to victory is not always a straight one.
I trained, I ran. There's not a crevice of this city that you didn't see this young lady named Felisha Legette running up Euclid Hill, down Meadowbrook, on East Fayette Street, around Salina Street. I walked, I ran, I did everything. I was ready to show that there's an All-American here at Syracuse University for women's basketball. Third game of the season, I went to catch a pass from Sue Ludwig over my head, and as I caught the ball over my head, the floor moved, but then it stopped moving. And my leg went and stopped. And I felt like my leg was just tired. And next thing I know, it just wouldn't stop being tired. So they took me to the training room back then. They blow your knee up very quickly that same night. And they realized that I tore every ligament in my leg. And the next day I had a full surgery on my knee. And it was a 6-week cast. And it was ridiculous. And it was the worst time of my life, I thought. I was playing 38 minutes a game out of 40. I never thought about what the coach thought about. I just kept playing, and they say whatever they say, I'll do what I do, and it's a happy marriage. But after I blew my knee out, I had to sit and watch the game from a coach's perspective, and that's when I realized, gosh, this is how I can stay connected with the game. I can actually coach. And we played another year here, and I realized that that's what I wanted to do, and that's when I became a high school coach for a couple of years, and the story continues.
Felisha Legette finished her career at SU as the program's all-time leader in points, rebounds, field goals, and free throws. Today, she is still among the top 10 on Syracuse's career rebounding and scoring list, along with being one of 3 players in program history to score more than 1,500 points and grab more than 900 rebounds. There is no denying that Felisha Legette helped put the Orange on the map for women's basketball and is arguably the starting point of the program's history. Barbara Jacobs would still find success with her team for a couple of years after Felisha graduated, but she was never able to recapture the excellence of the team from the mid to late 80s. The coaches that followed did face the same struggles in finding consistent success for the program. Mariana Freeman and Keith Siplicki both had career records below 500 as head coaches for the Orange. During this time, though, the program never completely lost the identity that Felisha helped to establish as a player, an identity rooted in passion that she would continue to foster throughout her coaching career.
I was assistant coach under Mariana Freeman for 7 years, and I could have been here forever. We were all locked in, and it was a fun place. It was the best coaches around me was here. We were all underpaid, and no one cared about anything other than coming to work and working hard and growing this community and this athletic department. I just remember one time Coach Mr. Crowhamill had a football player over against the wall and just saying, "We win here, and you need to help us win." And it was okay for that kid to say, "Yes, sir." And for me to witness that as assistant coach, I'm like, wow, this is what we do here. We give our best effort. Everybody is invested. And I just said, I want to go away and get more knowledge, and I'll be back soon. I'm going to be the head coach. And I thought I was going to come back right after I left. And the job came open when I was at Hofstra University. And of course, I only had 1 year, 2-year coaching experience, but I lost 2 recruits because everybody thought I was going to be the next in line. I get the Indiana job, same thing happened. And my kids came up and said, "Coach, if you're going to go to Syracuse, let's let us know." I said, "Syracuse hasn't contacted me," and so I'm where my feet are.
The timing wasn't quite right yet for Coach Jack to return home. However, Syracuse women's basketball did begin to make strides towards relevance on the national stage. Under Coach Quentin Hillsman, the Orange were rebuilt with talented players whose names will forever go down in Syracuse history. Kayla Alexander, Nicole Michael, Alexis Peterson, Brittany Sykes, and Tiana Mangakahia are just a few of the players that ushered in the program's most successful period in the NCAA era.
You got to keep in mind, before he got to Syracuse, the program really had very little success. And in his first year, they only won 9 games. He was not expected to win many games in his first year. But from the second year onward, they were a winning program consistently under Quentin Hillsman. always getting to 20 wins, always getting to the postseason, 13 straight appearances in the postseason. 4 of those were WNIT berths early on. And then once they sort of established that they were an NCAA tournament team year over year, they did not look back. They made it 9 straight years to the NCAA tournament. There were some really fun players to watch. And that's another point with this, that Coach Q's style of play was also just really fun to watch too. They got up and down the court. I think it was an attractive brand of basketball that appealed to recruits. And I think it was established enough at that point that Syracuse women's basketball is a proven winner. So the crowds grew for sure. There was a great deal of energy each and every year. But for years, this was a sport that was dominated by 3-4 teams. Syracuse made it to the national championship game, earned the right to play UConn. At that time, UConn was winning national titles pretty much every year, and it just felt like it was inevitable. It felt like who was UConn going to beat en route to their national championship. Now you're looking at a program that has had a lot of success in the NCAA tournament, that has had a lot of success at bringing in top-tier talent. And now the hope is you can catapult into another category. But the way that the Coach Q era ended put the program in a tough spot. They obviously took a step back because of the ability to transfer at that time period, and because of what was going on and the reports and the state of the culture. A lot of players left the program and left the next head coach in a tough spot to kind of gather the pieces and recover from there.
After Coach Hillsman's resignation in 2021, the program needed a change. Syracuse women's basketball needed a leader that could restore the program's success on the court and its reputation in the community. In search of a new direction, Syracuse looked west, to Buffalo specifically, where then University of Buffalo head coach Felisha Legette-Jack had brought the Bulls to their most successful period in school history. The Syracuse native was exactly who the school and basketball community needed.
Well, we got the dream job. Let's go, we're here. And we have some players, and we all take pictures together. If you look at the pictures, there's about 12 or 13 players and myself, and I'm listening and excited. And one by one, they decided to go to other institutions. And when it was all said and done, there was only 4 players left. And we had to figure out how to build a team. And so what I knew to be true was there's talent all over the country. The only talent that I knew of was mid-major, where I came from, where I was for 10 years. I mean, we went really mid-major, but I said to myself, I just want kids that want to play hard and really honor the opportunity to play for this great institution, and just wanted the world to see their story through the play of the game of basketball. And we ended up getting 8 mid-major kids, and we showed up, and we won 20 games our first year, and everyone thought it was a fluke, and they thought this kid named Deasia Fear wasn't as good as, we put her on display for her first year, and now that everybody know about her, guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna stop her. And she ended up making all ACC first team, all defensive team, and we won enough games so that we can tie for second place, and won 24 games our second year. So, we really didn't look at okay, we're going to show them or win one for the Gipper. We didn't have those mindsets. We just said, tell your story every possession. And when you finish on the court, be able to look in the mirror and know that you left it out there. And if you did that, great. If you didn't, you pray to God that he wakes you up in the morning and you give a little bit more.
From the moment she stepped on campus, been dreaming big, because she knows that you can win big here at Syracuse, and she knows this is a special place and a special community. And given her ties to the community, I think there's a great deal of optimism that if she produces the winning seasons that she knows she is capable of producing, the community will turn out because she is one of their own. And there's something to be said for that. It's really hard to describe just how much Coach Jack cares about Syracuse and cares about the school and the community around Syracuse as well.
My coaching philosophy is simple. It's culture, it's character, it's giving your best effort academically, it's playing the game of basketball I call it zip it down, put it in, zip it up with your heart, and being able to recognize what your why is every single possession. And that's it. I'm not going to be the best coach for you. I'm not going to be the person that's going to X and O better than the next person. But I am really good at reintroducing you to your why. And one thing I'm really proud of for what we've never wavered from, we never let talent supersede what we stand for at any institution I've been in. And one thing that we stand for is the character piece before the academic piece, before the basketball piece. I'm trying to build success for this community. You can say, it's tough here. But when I look at women's basketball, I see hope. I see a vision of what it looks like when you just put your head down and just tend to the sheep and just give yourself a chance. I want to build a national championship team here where we can really be the face of the athletic department, this university, and we don't take that lightly. We just believe that what we say includes everybody. What we do is going to include everybody. We know what winning looks like, and so when we win, we're not going to lose ourselves through the wins. What we're going to do is stand on a podium and reach our hand down and bring everyone with us. I just think this community is begging for somebody to include them, and we're that team, and we're that story, and we're that why that we are looking to just grow this entire city. And I just think that our team is special enough to do it right now.
You guys ready? Yes. It doesn't sound like you're ready.
Some people think, well, it must have been easy for Coach Felisha to get the job, right? Because she grew up here, played here, All-American here. She earned the right to coach this program. And everybody in this room is so fortunate to have Coach Jack as your head women's basketball coach. Thank you very much.
I want to see the energy. I need that energy. Come on now. A 6-foot guard from Cincinnati, Ohio. Number 5, Layla Filia. Number 20, Dominique Darius.
The academic accolades that each one of these young ladies had, 3.47 overall GPA for them. The handshake, the look in your eye when they speak, the I'll do whatever you ask of us. And they are talented and they're high-profile young women who's willing to do all the humble, humility things. I am the luckiest person in the country. I get to coach all of you. This year, we decided that we're going to make this season the season of the woman. But it's important that I stand higher and taller for these women. And I have to fight harder for them. Because as 59 years old, my time is shorter than theirs, and they have to see what it looks like to fight hard for something you believe in. It's time to support women's basketball. We have arrived all over the country, and we haven't done that here in the city of Syracuse yet. And we have to take pride. And yeah, it's going to be tired, it's going to be hard, it's going to be games that we should have won. I need you to stay true to it. I need you to stay focused. I need you to fight hard. I need you to not give up on it. It's not just about me. I got to make certain they understand that they got to dig deeper every possession. How they do that, they got to see their boss do it. They can't see me get tired. So those days are over. Those tired days are over. I'm making a commitment to them on the season of the woman. And I'm asking you to support me. Because nobody gets there by themselves. And you cannot do it. And the next thing we got braces to give out. That's a see it through. See it through. Don't get all excited about the first 4 games or the situation we go out there with Utah and we play Michigan. Don't get excited about that. See it to the end. See it to the end. It takes what it takes, and it's going to take all of us to see it through. And if you see me looking tired, just grab me by my shirt and say, come on, coach, I got to hold your jacket up. I got to hold your jacket up. You look tired to me. I need that support. I need that encouragement. I need that fight from you all. And if I get that from you, I can pour it into them. And I promise you, if I pour it into them and I set these ladies loose, the fight will be tremendous. So thank you so much for supporting us.
All right, Coach Jack, it's been a long but busy offseason. What have you and your staff been working on?
Well, the first thing I had to do was get a staff. And so, after that last game at Boston College, and we were up so much, and then we lost, the way we did. And so we had to revamp our staff, and we had to go get some quality people to come with Casey and Amber. Then we had to get some players, and we got fun players, to say the least. And one is from Japan via Nigeria.
So that's Uche Ezoje that you're referring to there. She's one of 4 transfers in your team. One of the familiar faces, Sophie Burrows, the leading contributor. It was really important for you to be able to bring her back. What sort of steps forward are you expecting her to take this year?
Wow, it just seemed like yesterday that she committed to us, and then she ended up going to Madrid, Spain, to play for her national team. And, the first year was pretty good. The second year didn't go so well. And when we got off the bus coming from the ACC tournament, I told everybody to go home, do your thing, but Sophie, can you meet me in my office? And I wanted her to understand how much I valued her. And I saw her struggle in the middle of the year, and she shares with me some real honest thoughts. And as I shared some honest thoughts with her, but I know that we were in this thing together. I just think that she actually understands what I'm trying to build here. And I'll be the loud, crazy one, and she'll be the soft-spoken one that gets the job done for us.
For fans, they'll know Sophie. They'll know Maddie Potts. We mentioned Uche Ezoje. Who are some of the new players that fans can really look forward to seeing this year?
Jermaine Thompson isn't new, but she's new in the way she's playing. She really didn't play well last year, and we made a pact that we're going to give each other our best. And she has been so delightful to coach, so incredibly gifted in what she's gifted at. And some people are gifted at scoring and running or whatever. She's gifted in setting the screen. She's gifted in talking to her teammates and saying, this is how we do it here. And she's gifted in helping me grow the rest of the team. She's a senior, and this is her last year. And I think she's having the most fun that she's had in every year that she's ever played the game. You're going to see her an awful lot. You might see her real early in the first game.
Speaking of that first game, you guys have 3 games in that opening week. I know we're still a little ways away to be able to go through a scout of those opponents, but what are you expecting and hoping to see from your team in the early going?
Well, last year, we weren't mentally tough enough or focused enough to take on our non-conference schedule. Hence, we didn't have a great game against St. Joe's, Albany. SMU came in early and gave us the L. And I think this is a different group. I think their mentality is like anybody we play, anywhere we play them at, we're going to respect everybody. We're going to fear nobody. And so the first few games, it's going to be one at a time. Stony Brook is a tough team. We're going to give our best effort there. We get through that Stony Brook situation, then we go to our next game, and we're going to go where our feet will be.
Coach, after wins this season, you'll be delivering the hard hat presented by Bank of America to one of the players on your team. What's the symbolism behind that?
Oh, well, this is such a fun little thing that we do, but it's a reminder of who we are. We're passionate, we're enthusiastic, we lay it on the ground, you bring your lunchbox, you sit it on the floor, and you go in. And so this award is for the person after every win. Is somebody going to get it because they dove on the floor for the loose ball. They actually, they got the deflections and things that you don't really see on the stats, the offensive rebounds, those type of numbers like that, we're going to calculate those numbers up, and whoever gets the most numbers in those categories that nobody really care about, we actually present that, and they'll come. No matter who is invited to the press room, that person will come with her hard hat and be there to show that they did the good work.
We're looking to that ball finally going into the
It's
air
time.
and seeing your team tip off. Coach, thanks for your time.
Sean, I can't appreciate you enough. Thank you for all you do for all athletics, man.
Appreciate you. Same to you, Coach. This program is brought to you by the members of WCNY. Thank you.